We do really believe that closing opposition is quite dismissive to our case. That is basically the ideas of the political inclusivity for the entire establishment people is also very important to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, because basically it is within the interest of the United States to begin with, which is very good, because basically we're not debating about how being as Democrats to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, because we know that we're talking about the attempt of to impeach in itself is bringing more good or harm toward the American society as a whole, ladies and gentlemen, which is as our identity in itself. We're talking about how the more inclusivity discourse about how a policy-based elections to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, not about how the character and assassinations that is very bad. I'm going to try to explain to you why that I'm going to try to explain to you, number one, about how the ideas of the legitimacy of the 2020 leader that will be elected in itself will be very bad, because there is a bad political discourse in itself. But secondly is about how the ideas of the inclusivity in itself, that is very important. That I'm going to engage my member space in my member space to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. But before going to that, there are several clarifications toward the closing opposition cases to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. Within that, basically, the ideas of the likelihood that Trump being impeached or not, we think that it's not important to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, because we think that by the time, if it's true that Trump is found guilty to begin with, when it's not true that Trump is found guilty, we think that the Trump will try to play there as a victim to begin with, as a victim that is being used by the Democrats to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, and then they all try to politicize this kind of narrative to begin with, to get to win the elections to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. The discourse on the society is not about how the policy discourse, like whether or not the eligible tax program is more effective, or the medical healthcare from the Bernie standard is much more important or not. But the ideas of the Trump that always playing victim in itself will overwhelm the ideas of the policy discourse within the society to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. And the next of all is about how the idea of the attempt of getting Trump out from the power, from the government itself is problematic to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, because it more legitimizes the ideas of the people that is coming from the conservative people that support Trump, for example, to always supporting Trump, because basically the Trump in itself is not being kicked out from the office, not because of the policy that made by Trump is, but it's about how the ideas of the case of the scandal of this impeachment in itself, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that this is very bad, and also this is very regressive toward it's unbeneficial to the society of the United States in itself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to explain to you why the argument of the political inclusivity for the entire establishment is very important to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. Because basically we're talking about good political discourse because we're talking about the harm of the attempt to impeach in itself exists upon how there is no good political discourse upon all layers of society to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. Because when it doesn't harm the discourse of policy things, because we believe that basically when the ideas of the character assassination is overwhelmed the ideas of the political discourse, things that is such as more important, like the ideas of like what I've told before, the ideas of another candidate coming from Democrats' policies that is more important, like medical healthcare or so on, or the taxations program or so on. We think that it's much more important to be the discourse inside of the society to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. Moreover, the ideas of the attack, the anti-establishment people, like the supporters of Trump's, or maybe the supporter coming from the Democrats, like the Bernie Sanders in itself, is being left out from the discourse of the current political situation in itself, ladies and gentlemen. We think that it's very bad to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, because the leader that is elected in 2020 is but how the leader that being chosen because the ideas of the political impeachment narrative to begin with, not upon how the ideas coming from the political discourse upon which policy there is which policy there is good to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's problematic because it enters the next point is what whether the discourse upon the policy which Trump has made is but is good or not, is never happened, ladies and gentlemen, because the assessment of Trump will always based on the scandal of the impeachment in itself, whether this is good, whether this is legitimate to make Trump out or not, ladies and gentlemen, because the assessment, because there are lots of topics, there are lots of controversial policy that is created by Trump in itself that is need to be discussed inside of the society to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that this is very harmful because basically we could not analyze whether or not Trump should be elected at the next 2020 elections or not, ladies and gentlemen. We do believe that when the Trump win or the Trump win or the lose of the Trump in itself will be doesn't legit at the 2020, ladies and gentlemen, because the legitimacy is very bad to begin with.
Discussion of scandals have happened since 2016, but right now people are demanding concrete attack against Trump's crimes. We think on our side of the house, we're fulfilling that demand. What are you doing on your side of the house?
Yes, but in our side of the house, the impeachment, we think that the impeachment is only politicized as the political benefits for the Trump in itself, for example, to get victimized on our side, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that in our side that is very much better because basically you will try to include all the anti-establishment also, for example, and all layers of society to actually participate in politics to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. We think that it's very important because basically the 2020 in itself is very the term is very short. Because basically you need much more discourse on which kind of policy that America will make. For example, we think that it's very important because by default the assassinations of the character in itself is very unuseful for the policy that is made by the next candidate in 2020, for example, because we do really believe that the legitimacy in itself is very important because by the only legitimacy in itself you can measure whether the policy is being the policy that is promised by a certain leader in itself is being fulfilled or not, ladies and gentlemen, not upon how the idea that the leader is being chosen by the impeachment process or impeachment political narrative or so on. So we think that it's very important to propose this motion.